Yeah.
Welcome everyone to the afternoon edition of the Friday Night BS show with Mr. Bob Sharp.
How you doing, everybody?
Thank
you, everybody.
One of the original BSers. Yes,
One of the OGs.
the OG BSers.
Here with the OGs.
And look who's with us. Art is with us. Art.
Yeah, the rookie.
The rookie.
The rookie with the OGs.
There you go.
He's the OG. We're going to break him into the Friday Night BS show.
We are.
Yeah.
We're not going to talk about John's Instagram feed because everyone, that's private, Art. That's private.
You're right. So no private stuff.
We're not going to talk about John's Google history.
Google search history.
Yeah, we're not going to.
Really
you
good.
like that limoncello?
It was really
courtesy of my brother. Why not, Bob? Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah,
I've already had a couple.
No. Go ahead and read our sponsors.
Oh, read our sponsor again. Okay.
Let's go.
The afternoon BS show.
Yes, our sponsor. John, does your bush need to be trimmed?
My bush does need
Does
trimming.
your grass need to be mowed? Yes. When you're looking for the best, call my buddy Frank at Cut Above the Rest for a free quote at 209-328-0635. Just remember, if that bush needs to be trimmed and your lawn needs to be mowed, Frank is the man to know.
Does he take care of gray bush?
I'm sure Frank can take care of any color bush you want to take care of.
Frank, if you're out there, do you take care of gray bush?
Frank does it enthusiastically.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, Frank doesn't discriminate as long as your money as long as your money is green. Okay. Once again, if you want the best, call my buddy Frank. Cut Above the Rest. At 209-328-0635.
Yeah, heck yeah. We love Frank. We're glad.
We do. Yeah, hell yeah. Heck yeah.
Art, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. We're
excited to be here.
I've been teasing him for months. I said, you got to come on the show and sit down and talk a little bit about life. And I was thinking about this. You the other day you were talking about Modesto and how different Modesto was for you when you moved here.
Yeah.
And I started when you were talking that conversation, it was the same way for me coming from South Philadelphia to this shithole town and like looking around and I had that look like, where are we?
Yeah.
What is this? Growing up in the big city and, to the left of me, that was all orchard. There was no church there. There was no houses there. It smelled like manure 24/7. It was a big culture shock to come here, and I'm sure it was for you. I mean, coming from LA here.
Yeah, you almost time travel when you come over here. Like, at least that's how it was for me. Like,
what year did you come?
I came into town in 2000.
Okay, yep.
Yeah,
I'm
still young.
It was still like on its like second come or however like rebirth or whatever because Brendan Theater just got built.
Yeah, they just revitalized downtown about that time.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So I was kind of fortunate to come here at the right time. I would say.
Well, me and Art were talking the other night. He when he was in high school, one of his instructors is a very good friend of mine, Troy Brady.
That's right.
I knew Troy playing softball with Troy and stuff, and
shout out to Mr. Brady.
Absolutely, Troy. Yeah. Shout out to you, Troy. And Art's like, Mr. Brady. Mr. Brady. Troy Brady is the legend, like in the softball lore around town and stuff. Troy.
Oh wow, really?
Troy is just a great dude.
Yeah,
Troy is a fantastic dude.
Yeah, for us too. I always tell this story is we were unloading. This is 1980 Modesto, and we're unloading.
Wow.
We're unloading the truck and to move in this house right here. And Troy lived next door. This whole neighborhood was full of kids, all our age. So that was the perfect thing. We moved into a neighborhood that had nothing but kids, boys, all our age. So we're unloading the truck, and we got hockey sticks.
Mm-hmm.
They have no idea what hockey sticks are. They're like, are those weapons? Because they know we're from Philly. They're like, oh, you're from South Philly. It's bad over there. Those weapons are like, it's a hockey stick. You never seen a hockey stick?
All right. Well, just for some context, 1980, the canal was as north as any buildings were except farms.
Yep.
Yeah, there was no school. No complex, no medical complex up there. And that was all orchards, right? This was the last street.
Yep. This was the last street. We used to carry our shotguns out this door down to Palmilla and go into that where the church is. And we used to go pheasant hunting and rabbit and jackrabbit hunting right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy how much this whole place has changed so much. Used to ride our bikes to Knight's Ferry from here Mom's not around to yell at me, so hey, Mom, we're up there.
Well, yeah, it's like I would tell the story is when I was in high school in the late 70s, my uncle had a walnut orchard off of Beard Road. It's all canneries and warehouses now. We used to dove hunt out there.
Yep.
And then we put our guns in the gun racks and go to school.
That's so wild, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And nobody would bother us.
Yeah. I can't even.
No police would show up.
Yeah,
like
you were carrying a gun in L.A.
Oh, shit. Get shot at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Like in my high school, that's what I was saying. In my high school, we had metal detectors and stuff. So it was so wild. And when I came out here, you could just walk on campus and it was so, like I said, just time traveling. Like,
did you do the sign to the cross every time you left the house?
No, not like that.
Hey, carry this poster of St. Joseph with you. Keep it close, Art.
Well, I mean, like, how was it in the 80s in Philly? Like,
it was bad. Yeah.
So it's definitely a culture shock to come from that.
It was bad. We went to Catholic school, so we didn't go to the public school, but the public school was the cutoff for us. So it was 4 blocks this way, 4 blocks in each direction was part of Little Italy.
Yeah.
And there's that one street, which was, I think it's Pashkan Avenue. And on the other side of that was the high school. And that was gated. There was, graffiti all over the place. Yeah.
And this was 1979,
78, when we were, and we weren't allowed to go over that street.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that was the only place that had basketball hoops. Yeah. And we couldn't go there. So, remember seeing those old videos? We literally had a milk carton that we cut the bottom out of.
Yeah.
And a board that was on the telephone pole. And that was our hoop. I go, this sucks, You don't get that swish, get from the.
Well, I'm on the opposite end because I was on a military base out and there was just a little town around us. So coming here, there was more stuff to do, because like when I was a little kid, when I was on base, the closest McDonald's was 45 minutes away.
Wow.
Yeah. All right. So McDonald's was a treat. Tracy, what's up? McDonald's was a treat.
Bang. Heck yeah. Artemis Prime. Yeah, that's what you should call me. Artemis Prime.
We got McDonald's maybe 6 or 7 times a year. And we thought that was a treat.
Yeah.
So I moved here in 77.
And what state was this in?
Missouri.
Oh, Missouri.
And then
shout out Missouri.
Yeah, shout out Missouri. Yeah, hell yeah. Fort Leonard Wood, baby, in the house.
Oh God. Did they have a gang sign?
No. They didn't have gang signs. They had drill instructors.
Yeah.
There you go.
So we got here. I lived off of Prescott and Peach. And McDonald's was like a mile down the road.
Yeah.
So we were having McDonald's all the time. And I'm not gonna lie, after about a year, man, the luster was gone, man. Because you get McDonald's whenever you want. You know what I'm saying?
McDonald's everywhere now, dude.
Yeah, but like I said before, it was
poison our children every day.
It was 45 minutes away. And it was just a treat. So Art, you married?
Yes, sir.
How long you been married?
It'll be 20 years this year.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Go Art. Go Mrs. Art.
Yeah, so we're Artemis Prime.
Mrs. Artemis Prime.
It's Artemis Prime.
So I did ask you earlier. You
Missouri boy.
2 lovely daughters, 19 and 16.
Yes, sir.
So your first daughter's going on her first date.
Okay.
Does Art intimidate the young man when he comes up to the door?
No,
really?
No, man.
You didn't lay down the law,
but I do want to have like the gentleman come to the door.
Absolutely.
That doesn't have to be anything intimidating, dude. Like I trust myself that I raised my daughters good enough, because man, like I said, 19. I don't think my daughter's never been on a date, at least that I know of.
Okay.
So she's like super focused on her education and
good. You're raising a good daughter.
Stuff.
Get the job first, then boys will come later.
Yeah, just anything, life in general. She knows the struggle that her and her mom, we had to go through.
Right.
Luckily, she, her mom, my wife, she got a education. She has her master's and stuff.
Right on.
So
hell yeah, baby.
So she just knew, like, let me just focus on school first, and then everything else will fall into place,
That was the most scariest thing is it's like you're 16, 17, you get a date with a girl.
Yeah, I still have a little one, though,
You got to go to her house and pick her up. Because back in the day, it wasn't, hey, let me meet you at Starbucks. Starbucks wasn't here.
Right. Yeah.
So I got to take you to a movie and take you to a dinner because that's what dates were back then.
Yeah. Dads loved me. How about you?
Oh, I was always good with dads.
Parents love me, man.
Parents
love me.
And
good boy.
And I realized.
Let me tell you what I'm doing. Your daughter.
No, I realized the more the parents liked you, the least the girl did.
Yeah,
because the girl didn't want like her parents to like the guy because she wanted conflict.
Right. Yeah.
Oh man, the parents liked me because I was a good kid. I'm working a job, and I was very respectful. And then after high school, when I got to college, I lost the whole respectability thing. It's like, hey, I work at a liquor store. Let me get like 3 or 4 bottles.
Yeah, you're the guy.
And let's go to the orchard.
Dating my daughter.
Yeah, let's go to the orchard.
What does Bob do, hon? Oh, he works at a liquor store.
Really? He can get alcohol whenever he wants. He's 19 with the keys to the liquor store. And
our first date was the ice box at the liquor store.
No, it was in an orchard with some Boone Farm.
So like back then, you could be like under 21 and still work at the liquor store, or were you already in your 20s?
So if you look at the laws, as long as it's off sale, there was no age.
Okay.
Off sale means that you sell it, they have to take it off the premises.
Yeah.
Okay.
To drink it. On sale, you still had to be 21 to be a bartender,
right?
And you still had to be 21 to be a cocktail waitress. But if you worked in a pizza parlor, you had to have 21 pour the beer, but you could still bring it up and you could still clear the table.
Yeah, that's how. When I worked at Round Table, I couldn't pour.
Right. So basically, it was what type of license you had.
Yeah.
Cool.
So liquor stores were off sale.
Yeah.
So I started working when I was 18. Got the keys when I was 19 because I would work. I was going to college, so I get my hours on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah,
I'd open and close both days.
Wow,
we were only open 12 hours a day.
Okay,
so my boss started liking getting weekends off. She goes, "I trust you. Here you go."
Yeah, here's the keys, Bob.
Well, the good thing was
when I became an alcoholic.
Yes, that's when I became an alcoholic.
I would too.
Ask my parents, man. I was a good kid in high school until I got graduation and got that liquor store job, and all downhill from there.
It's that first taste of beer.
Yeah,
that first taste. I still remember that first taste.
Day after high school graduation, not a beer.
Oh, mine was a little bit sooner than that.
Day after.
I did not like my first taste of beer, actually.
Right?
Yeah, I was a little bit younger, probably like at least like around 9 or 10.
Yeah,
and my cousins they were talking about it. They were younger than I was, and they were like, oh yeah, like we've had beer before, so I tried it, and it just.
What you remember? What brand?
No, I don't remember what brand. My uncle used to call it potato soda.
Potato soda.
I'd guess maybe he thought like that sounded funky, so I wouldn't try it. But I still want to try it.
Yeah, give me some of that potato soda.
That same thing for whiskey. I always thought like whiskey was gonna taste like sweet tea or. I was wrong.
Your first hit of whiskey, you're like, whoo,
because I had that same perspective. I always thought whiskey was going to be because I saw everyone drinking it. And I was like, it's got to be sweet.
Yeah,
it's got to be sweet. I didn't picture it being bitter, and it's like, and then I would be listening to these guys, and like, oh, I could taste that oak and that, and I'm like. I'm starting to think it's like, God, it sounds amazing. They're tasting all these notes, and I'm like, I took that first sip, and I think mine was Jack Daniels.
Jack Daniels, yes.
And I was like, dude, you guys, what are you tasting? All I tasted burnt.
Do you taste
burnt?
Are you able to taste stuff like that now?
Now I do. It's like I'll take my first sip of whiskey. Like right after I pour it, I'll let it it's kind of like wine with me. I'll let it air out a little bit.
Right.
Then I'll take that first sip. I don't swallow, but I kind of swish it around, and I want to taste. Yeah.
What?
Dude, working at Crime Guard, I have realized that I have to be extremely careful when I say something because it's always in the windows in there. So when I can't even say it.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, I want to taste what the bottle says, and that's I want to. If the bottle says hints of oak and cherry or walnut, I want to taste that stuff. So I try to do my best to get all that flavor, and then I don't care after that first sip.
I don't taste that stuff with alcohol, but with like wine and stuff.
Wine. I love. Joe knows I'm the same way. I like a Cabernet. I like it very peppery. I like a lot pepper notes in my wine. So because I like pasta and I like with red sauce.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
So I want to have that little that punch in there.
Yeah. So
what is Tracy saying? Alcohol is not edibles. fuck it.
Eligible.
Oh, I can't see it.
Nowadays, one has to be 21 to sell.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought it said edibles too.
Well, so
Art needs glasses too.
So here's how in my day to your day, the world has changed, Art.
Yeah, it has not.
And what is? Let's just clarify. I am 42, and you are.
I am 62.
I'm just saying they might think we're the same age.
No, no. I
might think you're in your 40s.
No, I'm 62.
Okay.
So I'm 21 years old, going to JC, and
okay.
My boss at the liquor store wants me to get to know more about the business. So they actually had a wine tasting class at JC.
Yeah.
Every
that class.
Every week we got to taste one specific grape.
Yeah,
one particular style. So it was a 13-week course. So we had the night of cabarets, and he would buy the bottles. And he was a winemaker. His name was Mitch Constantino. His first 2 wines were the Poet, which was a Chardonnay, and the Sculptor, which was a Cabernet. Constantino Cellars. But anyway,
and
go ahead. No, I just.
But
and for those that don't know, we are in the home of like a really good wine company.
Yes.
Yeah. This is the city,
the biggest
Gallo.
in the world.
Yeah,
in the world.
Shout out Gallo.
So when I was a kid,
shout out to Gallo.
Yeah. So when I was a kid,
Gallo with Artemis Prime.
Thank you, Gallo.
Gallo just was known about cheap wines, the bulk wines.
Yeah,
they had the big 4-liter bottles of Gallo and the big 4-liter bottles of Carlo Rossi.
Carlo Rossi is my favorite wine. Yeah, shout out Carlo Rossi.
Carlo Rossi. I met him because he's a customer at the liquor store.
Okay.
And we called him Charlie when he came in. But once a month, Charlie would come in.
Charlie Calderossi?
Charlie
Rossi.
Charlie Rossi, yeah.
Charlie Rossi, baby.
So he would come in and he would get a case of Canadian Club. Canadian whiskey.
Okay.
Every month, he'd come and get a case of that. So, it was just, so we had the wine tasting class. And for 13 weeks, you got a different grape and stuff. So and it's funny as I would get older and stuff, and I don't drink a lot of wine in public.
What was your grade in that class? You passed it?
You got an A. It's an alcoholic.
There was no grade. It was just participation for 13 weeks. There was no test.
Okay, got you. Damn, imagine that test.
But what was really cool though, the last night was champagne.
Bob, spit it out. Yeah. Spit the wine out. Do not drink all the wine, Bob.
The last night was champagne night.
Okay.
So my boss gives me a bottle of Dom Perignon 71. She goes, give this to Mitch and have him try this.
I got a story about that too.
Yeah, I show Mitch and then he goes, oh man, that's incredible. So the one thing I did learn about champagnes, and I will share my knowledge of champagnes with you, is you want to know if it's high quality or low quality.
Okay.
So the easiest way is when you pour yourself a glass, look how the bubbles come from the bottom to the top. The smaller the minute, the smaller the bubble, and the faster it goes up, that's your best quality. If you see big bubbles with a slow movement up, I
met someone named Big Bubbles once.
Yeah, Big Bubbles. So did I. Yeah. She was a $40 lap dance, too.
Talking about wines or champagnes or whatever.
Yeah, she was a $40 lap dance, John. She said she knew you, though.
She didn't know me. I'm going to go.
No, but
John Tricoli? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
he's a regular.
Yeah. He looks like Nick Cage, right? Well, the Lion Bastard told me. Yeah, Lion Bastard told me he was Nick Cage. So the first 3 lap dances were free.
Hey, man.
Johnny Guns. Pop.
Lap dances is all about. This is my thing with lap dances. I want to get your guys'.
Get our opinion.
Yeah, I want to get your opinion. So
Never had one.
Yeah, because this is my.
Never had one.
This is my theory.
Right.
If I'm paying for the lap dance,
yes,
I want to pick the 3 songs. It's fair.
That
you know where I'm going, Bob. You know where I'm going.
But you can't because
play, what is that? Leonard Skinner.
Yeah. I want Freebird, the long version.
Long version's like 15, 20 minutes.
Right. No, it's just you have to play whatever the other girl.
I don't want the 2-minute and 22-second song.
Right.
Yeah. I want the 7-minute song.
Right.
I don't want I don't want to hear pour some sugar on me again for the 50th time.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, what if you don't like the music she's playing? You know, you're supposed to be the one in the.
Well, wait. So if I'm paying for the lap dance,
I want to pick the music.
I'm looking at the girl in front of me because I picked her out because she's got the qualifications that I want. I'm not really worried about the music. I'm worried about where her qualifications are going to like rub my body.
Well, the music dictates how long that laptop.
Oh, it sure does. It sure does. You know what I mean? It's
some of us need to build up. So I want, I want. All right, here we go.
That's what I'm saying. It should be like what if you're not a person who happens to like butt rock, 80s or metal, or you want a hip hop song, or what if you're someone who doesn't like hip hop, you want a rock song? So you're right. You should be able to choose the music.
There you go. Oh,
I agree.
But give me you and Bob's 3 songs for your lap dance.
Okay, wait, Nate, what?
But go after.
So she has to dance to whatever the DJ's playing.
That is true.
She doesn't get
a private room.
I've never even been to a strip club.
Art, Mrs. Art.
This is why he's a good husband.
Art's gonna say he's going to work one night. He's not.
I'm always gonna go to work.
We're gonna road trip.
Get me in trouble.
He's gonna come home and he's gonna come home in a great mood.
Try to get me in trouble.
And Mrs. Art. It's going to be the night of your life.
Look for glitter.
Yeah, look for glitter. But he's going to come home in the mood, Mrs. Art. Okay,
glitter.
It's going to be Big Daddy loving time.
Forget the dishes. Forget the dishes.
Big Daddy loving time, and Mrs. Art's going to have the time of her life. All right, so 3 songs.
Always.
Give me your three.
Wow, that's a really good question.
Pour some sugar on me.
Always pour
there it is.
Okay.
Dude, Antonio's.
That's the second song.
Antonio's. I had a dancer named Lisa.
What? Where at?
Antonio's.
What is that?
It was a strip club in Empire. It's closed down now.
Empire.
Oh wow. Okay, I didn't know about that place.
Yeah, it was Topless Place. It was there in 2000.
Yeah, it was there.
Oh wow. I didn't know about that place.
Yeah,
that's amazing. You guys had strip clubs out here.
We did in Empire.
Okay. Yeah, my kids used to that's coming back from the lake.
Mm-hmm.
So my kids used to always joke. We'd always get to that stop sign or that light that used to be there. Yeah. And my kids, hey Dad, let's go into Antonio's. And my wife would be like, no, you don't need to go into Antonio. But Frankie would go, well, I hear they got a good buffet. And I go,
they didn't serve food, but that's okay.
No, they didn't have no food.
Third song. You want a long song, but they're not going to give you a long song.
I know.
And besides that, all the long songs, there's really not, it's the beat of the music's not going to keep her hips and her tits flying.
Yeah.
You know
Oh my God. Oh yeah. We're there.
Yeah. So, probably Girls by Motley Crue.
Oh yeah. Dang, a Motley
Smoking in the boys' room.
Yeah. Motley Crue would be cool.
Yeah. I'm doing Crazy Bitch. That's the song
God.
I'm starting with.
Yeah.
I'm starting with Crazy Bitch. And then
That's
I'm going to, I need to cry at the second song. Mm-hmm. So, I'm look at her. It's like, what? Why?
Hey, you do you. You want to cry
man.
at a
I'm playing Candle in the Wind because that's a long
Yeah, but she can't get the rhythm to like bump and grind on you.
Slow grind. You want a slow grind song.
You don't want to wear her out. Come on.
Candle in the Wind. Brandon, what's your three lap dance songs?
Strippers giving you a lap dance, Brandon. What's the 3 songs?
What was that song? I'm in love with the stripper.
I'm in love with the stripper.
I don't know that song.
Yeah, right. You don't know that song.
I don't know. That was it, really.
Brandon Smart staying out of camera.
So Antonio's.
On
Fridays when I worked at MTC, we would go out and do merchandising jobs.
Shout out MTC.
Shout out
MTC.
Antonio's would open at 4.
Okay.
So we'd be in the parking lot at 4 o'clock waiting for them to open. So strip club etiquette, right?
Okay.
There is etiquette.
The girls who make the most money, the hottest girls, work from 8 o'clock until 2 o'clock in the morning on Friday night.
Yeah, that's the prime.
That's the prime,
Yeah,
right? So we started getting there at 4.
He's never been to a strip club, but he knows that's the prime.
I mean, like in television and all that stuff, man. Those are the prime.
Yeah. So they started bumping up a couple of the girls for the opening shift at 4 o'clock
because you guys were out there doing the thing.
Yeah. Because there was at least, besides, there's usually 5 to 6 to us, and there was probably 20 other guys who came in at 4.
Oh wow!
So she was going to make money and stuff. Don't go on Sundays.
Sunday mornings are probably the best.
No,
right?
Sunday afternoons. Don't go on Sunday. Don't, because that's where the meth chicks dance, because
Wow.
you got to give them a day. They got Sunday afternoon, Sunday night. Yeah, you're not going to get any hot chicks on Sunday night, man. It's just ugly. Usually Monday night.
It's amateur night.
Yeah, and Monday night's amateur night, but the best nights are like Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Did they like have TVs there, like so they could put on the game or something? Or
no, at that time, no, they didn't. But because it was all about watching the girls dance.
Oh yeah,
you didn't want distractions.
Of course, yeah.
But so once you get up to like Reno and Vegas, oh my God, the girls would come in. So when I was working in Bakersfield, they had the Deja Vu Club in Bakersfield.
Deja Vu.
And so the hot chicks there worked Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Alcohol.
Because Friday and Saturday they were going to Vegas for the weekend. Because they'd make more money.
Yeah.
So the hot chicks would go to Vegas.
Yeah, I've heard that Vegas has some good. There you go, sponsor. Shout out to Bullet.
Yeah. So anybody going to Vegas, little tip for you. Okay, this is amateur guys. If you've never been to a strip club before in Vegas,
wear sweatpants.
Yeah, no, that's no.
Don't wear
no, sweatpants. When you get your cab, never ask.
Yeah, this is
never ask.
Information right
take me to the best strip club in town.
Why is that?
Because they're not going to take you to the best. They're going to take you to the best place where they get paid.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if you take a cab to any strip club, right? As soon as they drop you off, there's a guy at the corner of the building looking to see how many people come out of your cab. And then he'll go 3. And the cab guy will go, yes. So the cab driver drives around the building and they pay him $20 a head to drop off. That's why you never ask a cab driver where's the best, because the crappiest places pay the most so they can get people there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if they say like the Spearmint Rhino, don't go to the Spearmint Rhino. All right, those chicks are all over 40. You know, they're good looking for 40, but it's not the 20-year-olds you want.
Okay.
You know? So because I found this out. So me and my buddy Dave Victorino, we're
David.
Sorry, Dave. Sandy, if you're listening, it was Dave wasn't there.
Dave was not there.
So we are in
Dave's
Vegas for a softball tournament.
Dave's not here, man.
So we came in a day ahead of time. So we go to the old part of downtown during the day. And we're talking to the cab driver and said, hey, so if we go out later to like a strip club, how does this thing work? He goes, well, I'll tell you what. Deja Vu is one of the best. But when you get your cab, tell the guy, turn off the meter. And we're like, why? He goes, because he's getting $20 a head. Now, this was back in the late 90s.
Okay.
$20, a lot of money back then.
Goes, that's all money.
He's going to get $20 a head.
Yeah.
To take you to the strip club. Okay. So you tell him, just turn the meter off. Don't charge us for the ride. Because if he says, I can't do that, just get out and grab the next cab, because you will find a cab driver who will take you there for free. Oh, because he's getting paid.
Yeah.
He's getting paid on the back end.
Paid more money than it is the meter.
So the Deja Vu is totally nude, which means they don't serve alcohol.
Okay. Yeah.
But they will let you bring your own alcohol in as long as you keep it in a brown paper bag.
Okay.
And keep it under the table. Ask for a glass. You can get a beer, pour it in there. But as long as you don't have it on the top of the table, they don't mind.
Yeah, Tracy, what are your 3 songs, Tracy?
Yeah, Tracy, you're in a strip club, Tracy, getting a lap dance. What's your 3 songs?
Let's go. Yeah, I think I would go with like you know what? I don't have 3 because I'd never be there.
Art, we're gonna get you there. Don't worry.
And Art slides in the home, and
I can see Mrs. Art pop up right now.
Yeah, shout out Mrs. Art.
Yeah, Mrs. Art. She's like, good answer.
Good Art. Good answer.
Dude, I just had a deja vu right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did this already.
Yeah. That's crazy, right?
Yeah. No, dude. I get them all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get them all the time. I think it's the metrics. We're in the metrics.
Yeah.
In the Matrix?
Yeah, the Matrix. Hey, since there's 3 different generations here, I thought this would be kind of cool to go through. And this is the Rolling Stones top 100 list, but we're going to go to the top 10 or 11.
Okay.
So, and I want your opinion. And I think we've all heard these songs. And number 11, I'm going to put it, actually going to do this.
You got, or else we get demonetized. You got to take it out, right?
No. I'm worried about monetization.
Oh,
I want them to see what we're seeing. So I'm going to hit share.
There you go.
I'm going to hit this thing right here. And I'm going to go like this. And then it's going to pop up right there on the screen because it can. All right, there it is.
So what are these top 100 songs?
This is a top 100 song. So we're going to do 11 through 1. And I want to get your input on this song. At number 11, somehow, some way, Mr. George Michaels makes it there with Freedom 90.
Yeah, I got at least 200 better songs than that.
At least 200.
So this is obviously like record sales, right? That's how they're gonna judge this.
I know. I don't know how Rolling Stone doesn't usually do that.
Whatever.
Yeah, they don't usually do because that's the thing with music that we talked about this before on other shows, but how back in the 70s, actually 60s, 70s, and 80s, producers were paying DJs to play songs. So, did America like that song or did America just get fed that song?
Yeah.
Right.
Tracy, that's a good song. My Hump.
My Hump.
There
My
you go.
Lovely Lady Hump.
Shout out Black Eyed Peas.
Shout out Black Eyed Peas, man.
Yeah, no, there's a lot better songs than Freedom.
I honestly can't even remember that song, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
George Michael, I would say what? Faith? Did he do Faith?
Faith was big. Faith was a big song.
That's the one.
Careless
video.
Whisper.
Careless Whisper.
Yeah.
Careless Whisper.
Never heard of that.
I've heard of it.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I have heard of that song. Okay. My opinion is Faith is better.
To hit that note.
Yeah.
Faith is better.
Faith and, the other one.
Careless Whisper.
Careless Whispers.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, I'm with Bob. I don't know what 12 is, but I'm assuming whatever 12 is, I think is still better than whatever George Michael's is. And I don't even know what 12 is.
Right.
So again, was it fed to us or was it actually something we wanted to hear?
I think it was fed to us.
Who knows what record companies be paying to, buying their slot.
Yeah. And two, like the diversity of the United States. When you start this type of music, even though this is early 90s, the hip hop was starting to make their little, I won't say little run, big run, because they basically took over the industry.
Yeah. So rap was coming up because you had guys like
DMC,
MC Hammer, Run DMC, Young MC, my favorite Tone Loc, love Tone. Tone was awesome. That was the innocent rap until you got to the mid 90s, and then you got NWA.
Yeah.
All right, so what's
that's
10?
when
my daughter's favorite, Tupac.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, back then it was more of like a party vibe.
Right.
It wasn't about struggles or anything like that. It was just all about the party and keep the party going.
Michael,
there you go.
Billie Jean, yes,
a great fucking song.
Yes, I think it should be higher, like more
lower.
Like to number 5 or something.
I do too.
Yeah, well, see, Billie Jean, as I recall, was when MTV first started playing music videos. Billie Jean was it. Billie Jean was the number one.
That was a great freaking song. I was not a huge Michael Jackson song fan. I'm sorry, but
Billie Jean came out.
I did not change the station if it was on. There were certain bands where, like, we all did that. I'm sure
you were a Jackson 5 fan, though, right? Or
I was.
Or were you not even a Jackson? Okay,
I was.
So you just weren't a big fan of his solo stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I understood. Like Thriller came out. I understood why it was such a big album, and I could understand why so many people loved it. And one of the things I realized with that Thriller album is how young his audience was. Like my cousin was 8 or 9.
Yeah.
And he was emulating his dancing.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, okay. I don't see that happening with ACD. I was into ACDC, Guns N' Roses at the time. I was into metal rock. I couldn't see like my little nephew or my little cousin imitating Axl Rose or imitating any other artist.
How old was your little cousin?
8 or 9.
Yeah, man, he shouldn't be listening to Motley Crue and all that. Like,
smoking in the voice. But yeah,
Michael was big, man. Michael was big.
You can't take away from that album. But that song in particular, out of that album, amazing. Yeah, amazing song. And he just did it right. When it came to videos, he said, "Man, what is everybody else spending on videos? Yeah. Oh, screw that! I'll spend 10 times more."
So when this video came out, it was number one video. Everybody loved when this video came on, man, because you'd watch MTV for the music videos.
Yeah.
So and the next biggest, it's not going to be on this list, right? But the next biggest video after this was "Take on Me."
Yeah, it was a big song. Yeah. That song, it's just weird, that song, how much it's loved by this new generation.
But I think it's the video when we were younger.
Gen Z loves Aha.
Yeah, it's amazing how certain songs like that make their their
transition from generation to generation.
Yeah.
You know?
Sometimes they'll skip a generation and then just another one.
Do you feel? This is a tough question, but do you feel like that you get that from Beatles stuff? Do you feel like Gen Z could listen to Beatles stuff and go, "God, that was amazing"?
I think you know what I think Gen Z would appreciate some of the Beatles stuff. I think they would dig "Hey Jude."
Yeah,
and then come together. I think they would do that. But
Yellow Submarine,
I'm not sure about Yellow Submarine or Hold My Hand.
You get into that one part of where the Beatles were heavily doing drugs,
right? Well, so
best stuff.
So basically,
their best stuff, honestly.
LSD.
Yeah. So if you're watching Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club, toward the end when they're doing the boy, you're gonna carry that weight a long time when they're carrying like the casket and stuff. And things like that, I think they would like get back, but there's a lot of stuff they wouldn't.
That's a great song, dude. I cranked that song.
Oh yeah, especially with the new version of Sgt. Pepper. You got Billy Preston.
Yeah.
Oh God, coming out there. It was.
I'm not a Beatles fan. We've had this argument with Tim. Me and Tim completely agree. If the Beatles were to come out today, they would be pop.
Yeah,
right, they would.
Yeah.
So
they started off pop, right? They were pop.
That wasn't a
genre yet.
It wasn't a genre yet. So
they were. You would think about that.
Beatles are considered the greatest rock and roll band of all time.
No,
is it maybe because I mean, they did they put out some good stuff. People just always want to be the great.
Well,
but my daughter, my oldest one, who's 19, loves the Beatles. Yeah, I don't know about my youngest one, but
see, they were the first ones to make a big impression on TV when they came on the Ed Sullivan Show.
So that has a lot.
And all the young girls at the time were in love with them because they came from England. They got the mop top hairdos. But that's who drove the record sales back in the day.
Well, let me ask you this. They get their fame, and Bob has stated it perfectly. They got their fame because they were officially the first band.
They're a boy band
to be on TV. That was a big deal.
And so,
do you think? I'm hypothetical. If it were Kiss that had done that, would they have been what the Beatles are today?
Kiss came out.
No.
Let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
Kiss
so
I got an opinion about this.
Back in that day, Kiss would have been a failure because of their music and the costumes. But I remember Kiss first came out.
They weren't ready for it yet.
On the Mike Douglas show.
Yeah.
And then it's just like, who are these guys? Look at these. You look at the costumes and the outfits and stuff. And then, but when you're listening to the radio, and they're coming out with all their new songs, and they don't tell you it's Kiss until the end. You're like, God, this is good shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is Kiss. They're like, no way.
Yeah. That's what I think worked for the Beatles too, because they didn't have. I mean, I guess they did have that one thing where, like John Lennon said, they're bigger than Jesus or something.
Yeah, that screwed them over.
Right. That's what I mean by Kiss. Like, there's no way Kiss could get bigger because. There's people who aren't accepting of that and that stuff. And but at the same time, that works too, right? That makes the kids go, I want to listen to this.
I want that album.
Right.
I want that album. Dude, I remember Mom's face, the first AC/DC album, that CD. She's like, oh, absolutely no. It's Hell's Bells.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, what is this big balls shit?
Yeah.
I've got, no, Mom, they're talking about halls. Like, I don't think they're talking about halls.
It was the same for me for like NWA and stuff.
NWA.
Yeah.
So, but when the Beatles came out, you basically, if you look at the music at that time, you had Motown.
Yeah, Motown.
And the Beatles were completely different from Motown.
Yeah.
And you had the Beach Boys were huge.
Yeah.
And that was surf music. So the Beatles were a different type of music that people could relate to. If you didn't want to listen to the Beach Boys,
because you did have like
you had Paul Revere and the Raiders
coming around,
Gary Puckett and Union Gap.
Yeah, you're right. But
like you said, they're from the UK, so a lot of maybe
Well,
UK people aren't going to be listening to the Beach Boys. They don't know what that lifestyle is,
No, but you had a lot of metal that was coming out from England as well.
Maybe, like you said, AC/DC and stuff, Rolling Stones and stuff. Well, I guess
The Who.
The Who. There you go.
The Who. Who
right
else?
Shout out to the Who.
My name, dude. I wish Tim was on here right now.
Right. So the Beatles were the '60s, and that's like I said, that it was the Beatles and the Rolling Stones, and then the Who.
Yeah.
But as far as American bands, you don't really get the good American bands. Like you had Jimi Hendrix, okay?
Yeah.
You had the folk. You had the folk.
Motorhead. I was thinking Motorhead.
Yeah, you had the
there
folk.
You go, Motorhead. Yeah,
you had the folk singers who sang at Woodstock.
Yeah.
Okay, but the 70s brought you like the Eagles, Grand Funk Railroad, Boston, Chicago.
Hey Ray, you can come on, Ray.
Let's go, Ray.
But yeah, you're right.
Music, yeah.
Like one of the things I thought was impressive with the Beatles, and Bob, you should remember this, but the respect that they had for Elvis.
Oh, absolutely,
which was insane.
Elvis was the king.
Like he was the king. But it was like it was weird to know. I always find it weird that like who at that time is so big,
right?
But yet they realize Elvis is bigger still,
right?
Yeah,
it still amazes me. I'm amazed by those that you're at the top of the world right now. The Beatles were at the top of the world,
right?
And what did they want to do when they got to America? Was meet Elvis Presley.
Oh, absolutely. But see, the cool part about when Michael Jackson came out with Billie Jean, he didn't know it, but that was his first step of being Elvis or being the Beatles.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Because he had a good 5-6 year run where everything he did, Man in the Mirror, Dirty Diana.
Dude, Man in the Mirror is a great song.
Bad.
Listen to the words.
Oh, yeah.
Man in the Mirror.
Bad. And all these songs that he did, they just went straight to number one.
Yeah.
And he dominated the charts.
Well, you could also debate that, like how big of a gap was he from Jackson 5 to when he soloed out?
Well, Jackson 5 faltered. Jackson 5 faltered about 75.
Yeah.
Okay.
71, they were huge. 72, they were huge. About 75, the Jackson 5 pretty much were done.
Okay.
Because 75, disco started, or disco was coming on. So you had a lot of different groups. You had Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons had a couple hits during the disco.
Yeah.
And you had Wild Cherry would play that funky music.
Yep.
You had a lot of
funk.
And then the Bee Gees. All right. So Michael Jackson.
Bee Gees,
when Michael Jackson came out, the Bee Gees were huge because Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah.
So Michael Jackson, when he first came out with Billie Jean, that was Michael Jackson's first run at taking over the Bee Gees.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the Bee Gees were everything.
Yeah. Shout out Grease.
Yeah.
Oh,
Saturday Night Fever, man.
And, Saturday Night. Yeah. Saturday.
But too, you're right, Bob. But I think like in the 70s, it was disco.
Right.
But I think
disco died about 1980.
No.
Disco never died.
I mean, disco never, No, but folk music was big with the war stuff going on.
Yeah, that was early 70s. Yeah. So
it was just like that transition. It was kind of weird in the 70s.
Right. I think though, but like I said, bands like
John Taylor,
Jim Croce, and some of these other guys, but they were all mellow.
Yeah.
Neil Young.
Yeah, but
Neil Young.
But also it's just like in the early 70s, I mean, you started getting the Eagles. Like, say, you got Boston, you got Foghat, you got Leonard Skinner, you got
Okay. I mean, you're allowed to hate them.
I don't. No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
It's just the little thing between.
You do love the Eagles?
I love the Eagles.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I love the Eagles. Do I think Hotel California is that big of a song?
Well, do you think that, or do you just? Okay, so
no,
you like the
not
song.
Just to be. I like the song,
You
but
just
I don't think it was
should
that
be
big of a hit.
Got you.
Well,
I understand that.
Hotel California was a great hit. Okay, but I love Bob Seger.
I know you do.
Bob Seger. Shout out to Bob Seger.
I've seen Bob Seger.
I love Bob, you out there, Bob?
I've seen Bob Seger.
Hey, he listens. He's a fan of the show.
I've seen Bob Seger 3 times in concert. I love him.
My thing with that is he's a Bob Seger fan. I'm an Eddie Money fan.
Oh, yeah. Eddie Money was great. Eddie Money was great.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Eddie Money was phenomenal, man. But I think old time rock and roll is the most overplayed song in America.
There's a lot of those.
I hate it. And I love Bob Seger.
Yeah.
I say that about the Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, yeah, I can't.
Nah, dude, I love the Black Eyed Peas, man, because they're from my hometown, and
all right,
that's true.
Well, I am.
Yeah, my
let's get it started.
Let's get it. All right, let's go.
My sister-in-law, my
Michael Jackson deserves to be a 10.
Yes.
All right,
Billie Jean is top 10.
Billie Jean, great song.
10's cool. All right, let's see what else is under that.
All right, at number 9. At number 9, will we be upset? It's Guns N' Roses. All right, let me start this off because I am a huge Guns N' Roses fan.
Yeah, again, I feel like it should be like number 3, number 4,
number 300.
I'm with you.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I would be with you. until you've gone to a Guns N' Roses concert and actually listened to Guns N' Roses live, you would change your whole perspective.
That's a whole different argument, man.
Is Axl sober?
Live, the worst band live.
Is Axl sober?
I mean, are you sober at a Guns N' Roses concert?
All right. Yeah. And now again, early Guns N' Roses.
Yeah. Did you see them in the early Guns N' Roses?
Yes, I seen them early. Then I saw them on Day in the Green, 92, 93, I think it was. Absolutely horrid. He had a full orchestra up there. He had a choir up there singing with him. And granted, I think it was a big mistake. Mm-hmm. The lineup was a big mistake.
There you go. I could never judge a band live.
Yeah.
There's so much to do with it.
Having Body Count come out, which didn't show up.
Shout out
Body
Mr.
Count.
T.
Yeah, shout out.
Oh, what? They didn't show up?
They didn't show up. So Metallica comes out.
There you go.
Now, you bring Metallica to Oakland and bring them home. Who do you think everybody's going to be rooting for?
I feel you. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, sometimes.
That's what happened.
That was they were almost like the headliner.
And just fucking tore it up. Yeah. And then here comes Axl Rose. And he gets pissed off because everybody's shouting Metallica to come back. Encore.
Yeah.
Encore.
Didn't that kind of happen with the Rolling Stones and Leonard Skinner?
Yeah, like 70. I think it was 78.
Yeah. They kind of,
Hey, I got to give it to I number 9. I give them number 9.
Number 9,
Guns N' Roses is a big part of my teen years. I gotta amazing music.
Definitely shout out they're locals to me. I've walked around.
Whiskey,
Sunset Boulevard
Whiskey.
And the Whiskey Go-Go.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. The Rainbow Room. Yeah, they are them and Motley Crue are definitely the. So I think I would put Motley Crue like lower. So yeah, maybe number 9. They are good.
I can never. Do I say they're the greatest live band? Absolutely not. Yeah. But a record on vinyl, on a CD.
Yeah.
Axl Rose.
November Rain, especially.
There's a reason why.
That's a strip club song right there.
That's a strip. That's a breakup song.
There you go. You could work out to it. You could break up to it. You could do whatever to.
Number 8.
I mean, for me, there's a reason why he
did
AC/DC one of them.
Yeah.
Shout out 420. Shout out 420.
Okay.
I'm a day late. I should have been here yesterday.
So this has to be.
It's a great song.
No. This has to be.
That's bullshit.
No. I always say this because this has to be
before November Rain. Hell no.
The 100 best videos.
See, that's what I'm saying. Is this video count?
I'm thinking this is the fourth.
Is this sales? What is
I think this is the top 10 videos.
Yeah.
Because Sledgehammer was a great video.
All right, I'll give you.
As far as a song, there's a million better songs.
Okay, here's the.
I'm pretty sure Whitesnake's going to be in there, right? Because that video.
In honor of MTV's 40th anniversary, we decided to rank the top 100 music videos of all time.
There you go.
So these are music videos.
Music videos.
Yes, yeah, that makes more sense then. I watch Whitesnake's going to be up in that.
Oh wait, Take On Me's got to be near the top,
dude. That's
exactly the way he just moaned right now.
Here's my thing. 80s rockers ruined so many beautiful women.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that though?
Oh, come on,
like marrying them or taking
marrying them and just ruining them.
Okay, I see what you mean by that. Yeah.
When you say Whitesnake, where you go, Bob?
Tawny Kaitan.
I didn't know her name, but I know the video.
Absolutely beautiful woman. Absolutely beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Tawny Kaitan.
Yeah.
Hey, Art. Perils of Gwendolyn, great movie. She's in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
She runs around topless for a while.
Do
not watch it with Mrs. Art.
Is she topless?
She is topless.
Yeah, she is.
Gonna watch it now.
Don't watch it with Mrs. Art.
Don't watch it.
What's number 7?
Great video.
Send me the link later.
I'll give him that. It's a great video.
Number 7.
Number 7. Bob's like,
Yeah, that was kind of like, damn.
Oh.
I see again. This is why.
Hold on, Bob.
This is lower.
We're going to go to Art on this one.
Art, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying. Now that we know it's about videos, it makes more sense. Do you think this is better, like music-wise, catalog-wise, November Rain?
Yeah.
There's a reason why this video was number 7.
Okay,
right?
Tell us why, Art. I've never seen this. I don't even know who D'Angelo.
I don't even know who. I don't even know what the song.
Anybody out there know who D'Angelo is?
D'Angelo. It's not my wheelhouse. But go, Art.
Go ahead, Art. Tell us why is this number 7?
The video is just of this dude who appears to be
half naked.
I mean, half naked, but I mean, half naked is You guys know who D'Angelo is, man. Come on.
Seriously, I don't.
God's.
And so it's just a one shot the whole time he's singing the song, but he's obviously there like with no clothes on.
That's
yeah. That's what I mean. Like
no production value at all.
No. That is literally the whole video right there.
Are you kidding me?
No,
there's no half naked women.
No, it's him singing like that. Sometimes there's a close up on his face.
Tracy Mitchell, you got to weigh in on D'Angelo.
Okay, we're talking early 2000s.
Yes,
Okay.
But yeah, that's why it's ranked that low. Like that's what I'm saying. I think Whitesnake's probably going to be right there.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to do this.
Sex sells, man.
I'm going to do this for me and Bob.
Then Thriller's going to be on there too.
Copy. They should not be able to hear it out there, so I'm going.
Oh God, we're gonna.
Oh wait. Let me do this.
Yes.
Brandon, do you know who D'Angelo is? Untitled. How does it feel?
Okay.
Brandon does not know. Okay, hold on, Bob. You ready, Bob?
Watch. You when you see it, you'll be like, okay, yeah, it was played a bunch of times.
Just to be fair,
for the ladies,
Because honestly, I don't know who it is, and
I don't either.
I don't think I've ever heard a song. I know I've heard the name before. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I've heard the name before, but all right, Bob, you ready?
Yeah.
Is this right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the video.
All right, Bob.
I mean,
I'm not logged into my free account. Hold on.
It's all good, man. Hey, shout out to those guys.
Shout out to who is this?
Hit skip. Hit skip.
I can't. Oh, skip. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, you ready, Bob?
I'm telling you what.
Dismiss this.
You can describe the whole time. All right, so
got a little jazz.
It's a great song. I will say that it is a great song. I mean, it's a great video too. I'm not hating on it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I knew, because we're talking about videos, then visuals have to come along with it. And
well, it's got a good 70s R&B vibe.
Got a good
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's baby making music. You know what I mean? So
like Keith Sweat.
There you go. Like Keith Sweat.
Oh,
Yo, but it's no November Rain. Like video wise.
Your thoughts on D'Angelo Untitled?
Well, you know what? Okay, so here's the deal. If this was in the 70s and I didn't know who was singing it, but I heard it on the radio.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Listen to it.
Yeah, it's a great song.
I mean, just from the first 30 seconds.
So what you've seen of that, and then it just the beginning, and then that's mostly like the ending right there. It zooms out, and you see,
Yeah.
All right, let's go to number 6.
Number 6.
6. Don't let us down. 6. 70s.
Now that comes with
70s, 80s
videos. Oh, there you go, Sabotage, man.
Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
Give them that. This is a great video.
I like number You Gotta Fight for Your Right to Party, man.
Yeah, that was a great
video. Some of the Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
Beastie Boys have some of the best videos.
Yeah.
And it's a great video.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Twisted Sister was up here.
All right. I want to get Art's opinion, because you grew up with rap. You love rap.
Mm-hmm.
Do you put Beastie Boys up there?
Yes. Yeah.
You put Beastie Boys up there, huh?
They are actually
you credit them for the I don't know what's the word I want to use, Bob, for the progression into hip hop today.
Yes. So with the Beastie Boys, what was going on with them is they were a punk band.
Yeah.
And being that the punk venues were the ones who were letting inner city kids, they didn't care if you had ticket sales or the numbers, they would let you perform. So that's where a lot of hip hop artists, rappers, or whatever you want to call it, they started out in little punk band, punk clubs, I grew up listening to Wu-Tang and
Wu-Tang in the house.
Wu-Tang's for the children.
Wu-Tang is for the children. But I was really happy when I got into punk music, how much a lot of punk rockers did listen to Wu-Tang. So same thing for the Beastie Boys. That's why I say they just hit so many genres. They do what, I guess you could call like electronic music as well. It's a little funky. They're one of those groups that they're not just one genre. So I have a lot of respect for Beastie Boys. I heard a story about when they were big too. They wanted to go back to like their roots, so they formed at a bunch of little venues under a different name. So you were seeing
dive bars,
and then it's the Beastie Boys that come out, man. And then I think they even went back, and I think like in the late or early 2000s, maybe or mid 2000s, they went back and kind of just like apologized about like stuff that they talked about in their records. Like, you got to grow, and I think they're definitely respected in the hip hop community.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, that they're definitely rap, hip hop.
Yeah, I've listened to I've watched a few documentaries on the Beastie Boys. I love them. I love their albums, and I love the fact that, I like hearing like not today's rappers, but like early 90s rappers and metal and rock, that kind of that transition between the rock and hip hop, having a DJ back there while ripping a guitar like crazy, and having that credit the Beastie Boys for that, Beastie Boys giving them that, letting them know that they can go between genres and still be okay with their core audience. Yeah. And that's hard when your core audience is metal and you try to introduce all of a sudden you have a DJ back there scratching records, dude.
Yeah. Bertha's in the house.
Bertha.
Shout out Bertha.
Dude, that was what was cool about Bob remembers. I don't know if they did that when you went to concerts, but they used to have the comedian that come out. Remember, Bob?
Yeah, some people brought comedians first.
They would have the comedian come out and get the crowd going, get everybody. I don't know if they did that when the early, because I kind of stopped going to honestly, Bob, have you been to a rap concert? Have you ever been to a rap concert?
No,
I can't think of, other than Body Count. I don't consider Body Count a rapping group, but they did kind of rap.
No, I never. No.
Yeah.
And it's not that I didn't like some, because like I said, I like the early stuff. Like you said, Run DMC, Young MC, Tone Loc, those guys. But once it hit like NWA and those guys, I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm too white for this, because if I go to a rap concert, I'm going to get shanked.
NWA, dude, I'm serious. Fine. That was, dude. Those are two albums that changed my perspective of music, because I was rock and metal, but Shaka Khan.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Rufus was Shaka Khan. Oh my God!
Shout out Rufus.
NWA. Both those two albums changed my whole. Dude, everybody out there, I was the jock that was pop locking at school. It was like, dude, John, what are you doing, John? Why are you hanging out with the Mexican guys?
Yeah.
I go, I want to dance. They're like, they got cardboard. If you had cardboard, I'm ready.
Well, all right. So everyone thought that cardboard stuff started like 80s and stuff, but there was a group in the 70s. There was a dance group called the Lockers.
Yeah.
They were the first ones to do that. Yeah. Yeah. The Lockers were fantastic. But in 1974, I believe it was 74.
Yeah.
But that's the first time I heard "Tell Me Something Good" with Rufus and Shaka Khan, man.
Yeah, that changed me. I still listened. I was still heavy in the metal and rock, but I could appreciate listening to some rap.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. But okay, so I remember 1976. I'm playing football, 8th grade. So after practice, we'd go down to this little mini mart where our parents would come pick us up. Had a jukebox. One side was mini mart. One side was like a hamburger stand. Whoever had the first quarter, and it didn't matter who had the quarter, but the first 3 songs had to be Tell Me Something Good,
Tell Me Something,
Philadelphia Freedom by Elton John, and I Shot the Sheriff by Eric Clapton.
I shot the sheriff.
You got 3 songs for a quarter, but whoever had the quarter,
it's easy.
Oh, easy like Sunday morning, brother. I was last Thursday at Wexford's, I was tearing it up, man.
There you go.
Hey.
So it was
get high.
I Shot the Sheriff by who'd you say?
Eric Clapton.
Was he
Bob Marley, the singer first?
Yeah.
Did it first, so he was covering.
He was covering.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so Eric Clapton did a great verse.
Yeah, I love Eric Clapton.
So who's number 5?
Number 5 on the list.
Imagine,
are you ready?
Speaking of Eric Clapton,
can you tell who number 5 is just by the picture, Bob?
Joy Division.
Bryan Adams. I don't know. New Order.
Who's New Order? Kiss. New Order. I would seriously have to Google that one.
Sorry, then go to 4. Nobody knows New Order. Let's go to 4.
I do not know who that is. New Order. Anyone out there know?
No, let's just
number
go to
5. That's crazy, man. We've never even heard of him.
New York Disco Rump.
Yeah, no, let's just go to 4.
Number 4. Can you tell?
There you go. Oh,
go.
Like, This Is America. Like how? Yeah, this song is called "This Is America" by Childish Gambino. I thought these were. I thought they're only.
You're
like
right.
90s. Yeah.
Art in the house.
That's really surprising.
Do another shot, Art.
Oh yeah, always. That's
right.
that's really. So you guys have never seen this video?
Do you want some whiskey?
No, I'll stick with the Jaeger.
Bertha, you need to come over and make a list of John's alcohol. He needs to refill some of this stuff.
I have to make a list with Bertha as soon as I get my tax refund. All right, Bob.
But, yeah, that's you guys watch it on your time. But
I have no
Childish Gambino, "This Is America" is a really interesting.
Knowing, I'm going to throw this at Art.
Yeah.
Knowing all the music. And I know you go back, you've listened to 70s, 60s, 70s, 80s.
Bertha says she's on her way.
See, this is hard because this is video related.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's
but it was still
a little difficult. But
this song came out in like the late 2000s, though. That's why I was kind of thrown back.
See, Bertha knows it. It's an amazing song by Bertha.
Okay.
Amazing song and amazing video.
Would you put it, knowing all that genre that you know of music that you've listened to, and I know you say you listen to 60s, 70s, and 80s, would you put this as a song? Take the video out of it. Would you put this at number 4? See, that's not
number 4. Not number 4.
That's the important.
Yeah.
I get
just because there's
the artistic part of the video being maybe that's why it's number 4. I understand that part, but I want to go to the song, the actual lyrics to the song.
All right, so then let's talk about that. So "This Is America," you guys have like a lot of rock bands who captured the feel of what's going on in at the time.
Would you put this like "Born in the USA"?
Absolutely.
Put that in that same?
Okay. I would put that in with a lot of stuff that just kind of social awareness, so that's why it is a where it's at. I again, like with video, but like with I understand with video why it's number 4, but like with just songs in general, it's one of those. They will be talking about this in 20,
it's an awareness
30 years.
song. Okay. Okay, I get that then.
Number 3.
Number 3.
There you go. Somebody you guys
Material
love.
Girl, right? Vogue. Madonna,
Vogue. Everybody Vogue.
Come on. Material Girl or Like a Virgin was better than Vogue.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Come on, Vogue.
Yeah. I wasn't a big fan of Vogue.
Yeah.
But I will go with Material Girl. That
Material
was a big fucking song.
Or Like a Virgin.
Like a Virgin, huge song.
I think Material Girl was a better video, though.
Yeah, that's what's flashing through my head.
So here we go. Vogue. You got to think about at this time now, everybody has MTV. Those other songs you're mentioning, only privileged or like upper class people had cable.
Right.
So by the time this came out, cable was affordable.
Right.
So that's what it is, man.
To me, this is like I'm going to say this is prior. I think right at this record or after this record is when I think she gets a little. I don't want to say political.
I would.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Then I will say it. That's when I kind of changed my way because prior to that, it was I don't know. Like honestly, I don't know if she was writing her own songs or not. I'm not sure of that, but they were fun, loving songs. Just the moment, what the '80s were.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, her lyrics changed as she's talking about Christianity and
when she did Papa Don't Preach.
Yeah, Papa Don't Preach. I kind of changed my I wasn't a huge fan of Madonna's, but I wouldn't change Madonna. That's how I rate music. Like if I heard a song on the radio, how quickly do I change the channel?
Right.
And there were songs like Flock of Seagulls. Fuck that shit. When Flock of Seagulls came on, dude, I couldn't hit the button fast enough.
Actually though,
let's go.
Run So Far Away is actually a pretty good song. Look, if you don't picture who's singing it, it's a good song.
Yeah.
Never.
But for me, her whole thing changed a little bit for me, who she was.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, like I said, when she did like Papa Don't Preach, and then she did Just Like a Prayer.
Yeah.
The whole God thing in Just Like a Prayer turned a lot of people off.
That's a good question. I kind of, because I'm watching a lot of documentaries about the 60s and the 70s and how culture changed and politics and religion changed and how music changed with those times, you know. Do you ever felt like, and I'm sure I'm going to ask Art because, you know, in that generation, but you ever felt like that song that you were talking about, was there a point in time where you heard a song that kind of related to that time you were in, like as far as like politics and religion?
Definitely there's you know, like
I know Bob does.
It's still going on, it still happens. Sure. You know, I'm big fans of like bands like Rage Against the Machine, System of a Down, a lot of like punk bands and other or punk bands as well. Like, so there is, I think that kind of stuff should always be around.
Yeah, no, I do too.
You know, but I also feel like there's room for celebration and songs that just make us feel good. You know, I think that's what entertainment is. Like movies. I don't want to watch, you know, a political or war movie all the time. Sometimes I want to watch just like a funny thing to get my mind off.
Absolutely. Nerd.
Well, no, I mean,
let's talk about let's hashtag this Star Wars.
Love Star Wars.
Hashtag nerds.
Hashtag
and for you too. I mean, you're a kid of the pretty much a teenager of the 70s. So,
teenager of the 70s.
You know, Fortunate Son. You know,
Creedence had a lot of good stuff. It was. And, you know, at the time that you're listening to, you don't understand. Okay, so
there you go.
I'm in like 5th grade. Okay. One of the hottest songs out there, one of my favorite songs, Billy Don't Be a Hero.
Yeah. Right? Billy Don't Be a Hero.
Listen to Billy Don't Be a Hero. And about 5 years later, I'm reading I'm reading a story about it that was their protest song to war. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, I get it, but it was a great song.
Yeah, it's a great song, and you don't want it to be associated with like.
But once you go back and listen to the words after that, you know, it's just like, okay, I get it.
See, and that was the same for me at a point, and it wasn't with war songs, but it was with rap.
Yeah,
it's like I don't know who it was. It was a friend of mine. And he really went from metal to rock to hardcore rap. Mm-hmm. And he sat when we were listening to stuff, we, you know, get high and just kind of listen to stuff. And he goes, "No, John." He goes, "Stop listening to the beat. Stop listening to the rhythm. Listen to the words." And I'm like, that's when it hit me. It's like, okay, I get there's a message there.
Right.
And we were so at teenagers, we didn't want to hear that message.
No.
We wanted that rhythm. We wanted how did my 12-inch woofers handle that song?
Yes.
Did it rock my car? Did my mid-range get? Well, it's that point where you start to sit back and actually start listening. Like Eminem, for instance. Like I didn't pay attention to the words. Like my son brought that CD home. He goes, "Can I have?" Oh no, it wasn't Eminem, but it was it was Kid Rock.
Okay.
His first CD.
Kid Rock. Okay.
Yeah. And he brings this CD home. He goes, "Hey, Dad, can I have this CD? Can I listen to it?" And I was like, "Who is it? Kid Rock." I didn't know who Kid Rock was. So I was like, "Hey, give it to your mom. Let your mom listen to it." But there was a point where me and Katrina decided that we weren't going to put that restriction on our kids as far as music, because we felt like our music growing up was so important to us.
Yeah.
So Kid Rock, whoever he is important because obviously he was big in the early 90s, in the mid 90s.
Yeah.
And I said, let's let him listen to it. But then I listened to it. I was like, bada, 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 bang, bang, whatever. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, let him listen to it, you know? And that's when, because I had to get to that point though, where it wasn't, stop listening to the rhythm, stop listening to the beat, stop listen to the words, you know, just listen to what these guys are saying, you know, is more important than what is the rhythm? What is the beat count? You know, and everything's about beat count now. It's like, what is the beat count? You know, it's like, it's 122. It's got to be 122, 123, whatever your heart rate, beat count. So for me, I mean, I got to that point where it was more important to, and how long did it take you before you kind of said, okay, I got to listen to the words to these songs? I think it's different for you because you're a stats fucking nerd, dude. Usually,
all right. So the first song that made me think was, you know, everyone when Elvis sang "In the Ghetto."
Yeah, "In the Ghetto."
Okay, so he's explaining life in the ghetto. I get it. Okay, the Eagles have a song called Shit. It's
called Hotel California.
No, I love that song. But that's not the song I'm talking about. That's not the song. That's not the song with the message I'm looking for.
Okay. That had a really great message to it.
But if you listen, because I really didn't know that this was I really didn't realize that this was more like a protest song.
There you go.
Right, a protest song of what's going
There's
on.
one in here I really like. That's the Batman song right there.
Yeah.
Come on, let me see all the songs on the album. Come on.
It was an Elvis song?
It's an Eagle song.
Eagle song.
God, come on. Let me Hell Freezes Over.
I mean, that's cool that
Let me get the song.
But they weren't even known to really be political.
They were working on being political.
There's like 7 guitarists in that band. That's amazing.
Shit. Come on. Yeah. Anyway, it's
Fuck the Eagle.
Basically what the song talks about is
the band, not the NFL,
not the football team,
not the real Eagles though. The Eagle that had 2 babies.
Yeah, no. So it's about when the settlers first get here and how they progress through America, and it's they're tearing down mountains to build cities, and they're doing all this stuff. That's not the song, but it's a great song.
Kids in Town, Tequila Sunrise,
The Last Resort. It's called The Last Resort.
Okay,
but it's basically it's a song about how people just first get there and they destroy everything for progress.
Okay, and so you said you liked this song, and then you listened. Actually,
once I started listening to it, I'm like, okay, this is their form of protest.
Yeah,
just like that song "Get Over It." And there's a couple because they were later on after they before they broke up, they were trying to get political, and then once they got back together, they did do a couple political.
Jason,
songs.
You're next, bud. You're next.
What's the next video?
I'm gonna. Me and Bob are gonna interview everyone at Kernguard.
Let's go.
What's the next video?
I should actually also get the GGS crew in here.
Number 2. I'm gonna just do this the face.
Hell yeah!
Hurt.
Hell yeah!
Cash. Johnny Cash.
Yeah,
Hurt.
I'll go with that. What number 2? Number 2.
Hurt.
What number 2?
Dude, that's a great song.
Yeah, that is a great song.
That just makes you want to cry.
That's cool that, because that's a cover as well.
Yeah,
like Nine Inch Nails did the actual song, but I think that's cool that his version is that.
God, I almost want to see the video.
No, Jason, Last Resort.
It's
the Eagles.
Last Resort, Papa Roach. Hey, I'm with you on Papa Roach, baby. I'm with you on Papa Roach.
I swear to God, if it's Creed number 1, I'm just gonna walk out of here.
Hey, Jason, were you at that concert Saturday night down in Fresno?
Yeah,
the death metal concert.
Yes, he was, Bob. I saw the footage.
Did you see him in his outfit?
Yeah, he had
all black.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Let's go.
I'm going.
If it's gonna be a rap artist, these guys are gonna be so mad.
Wild guess. I'm gonna go 3. Let's go 3. It's either a Beatles song.
No.
Okay. It's either a
Beatles didn't make really big music videos.
Either a Prince song.
Van Halen Jump.
Oh, I'm trying to think like videos of the 80s and 90s.
Van Halen
But
Jump.
this is more than 80s and 90s because
I'm telling you,
This Is America came out
it's going to be a Michael Jackson song, and I'm going to go Thriller.
Bob, it's either Thriller or it's either Thriller or Aha. Take on me.
I'm going to go with Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang in the house.
Cream.
Do it for the children.
Let's go.
Who is
that's Beyonce's. Shout out Beyonce's. The Beehive. Shout out Formation. All right.
I never heard the song.
Me neither.
It's, Beyonce is great, but Wu-Tang is for the children.
Wu-Tang is. You ever see that Dave Chappelle takes racial draft?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And the Chinese picked the Wu-Tang class. We going from Tiger Woods went from
Tiger Woods.
He went from Asian to blacks. I think.
But he went from fried something to fried chicken.
Wow.
I think he's saying.
All right,
Beyonce Formation. I don't even remember this video, but I see why it's number 1.
Beyonce.
I've never seen the video. Me neither. See the video.
And this is again, let's talk about it.
So
let's talk about it. When this came out, now you got people with computers in their pockets.
Yeah.
You're not waiting till the video gets played.
Right.
You're playing the video. So all that stuff has to do, it's kind of I don't want to say like false, but if you want to talk about a time where you had to wait till the video got played,
right.
even then it's a little sketchy because you had record producers or record companies or whatever paying money for their video to get plays. But when you go to the point of like you have people who can just watch whatever they want, like the #1 podcast on YouTube.
No, hey, fuck Harry Styles.
He's 500, Bob. Relax, eh?
Well, I gotta bounce.
What's your problem with Harry Styles?
I gotta bounce out here pretty soon.
There you go. Let's go.
We'll do 50. Now these are the songs. I won't go 50. I go
Daddy Yankee. Oh wow.
I'm gonna scroll all the way down.
Radiohead.
Let's do top 10.
Oh, Elton John Tiny Dance 47. There you go.
Yeah.
I mean, there you go.
Oh, what? Lamar 47. What? Lamar? Who is this Kendrick Lamar?
Yeah, he played the
Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, My Girl.
Wow.
My Girl.
But then so these are videos?
Yeah, they're the top 500.
These are the top. So I'm going to go all the way to 10 somewhere over here. 17.
Bohemian Rhapsody 17.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Wait.
Beyonce's
better than Bohemian Rhapsody.
Come on, ready?
That's bullshit.
I want to hold your hand.
All right, you go quick, John, because I got to be out of here.
Let's go.
Go. All right, I'll start there because Steve.
Great song.
Superstition.
Very superstition. Riding on the wall.
I agree with that song.
Yeah.
I agree with that
Number
song.
12 is cool.
Art, you agree with that song?
Yeah, number 12.
Number 12. Number 11.
Okay, great song.
It's a great song.
No.
Exactly.
How much I love.
Now I'm good 10 plus years older than Art.
Yeah.
So I never got that. I never was that Beach Boy guy.
Well, I only
get
know
why you were.
No, I know the Beach Boys, and I know every song off of American Graffiti because I had an older brother. And that's all he played.
Yeah,
and he had the record player.
I just never got it. I seen him in concert at
Andre 3000.
Outcast in the house.
Hey, yeah,
Outcast. I would have picked a different song, but okay.
Hey, yeah.
Outcast.
Your thoughts,
Awesome.
Andre? I mean, Art.
Hey, I understand why Hey Ya is up there with number 10. That's cool. But I just like me personally. I like a lot of different other Outcast songs because that's really more a.
Hey Ya, but even white people were singing it.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. I understand where it's at.
Singing that song.
It reached across all the genres.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh shit! Yeah,
that's a great song.
Dreams.
Yeah.
Oh, have you? Stevie Nicks was
her voice is amazing.
One of the sexiest singers of the 70s.
Yeah, her voice is amazing.
Facts.
Yeah, Stevie Nicks.
I put her like I can't remember her name, but she's a folk singer as well.
Joni Mitchell, no,
not Joni Mitchell.
Joan Baez.
Linda Ronstadt. I got a friend.
James, Carly Simon.
Carly Simon.
I was going to say Selena.
They're so distinct voices. Winter, spring, summer, and fall.
All you got to do is call.
There you go.
And Missy Elliott.
Missy Elliott.
Freak on.
Get your freak on.
This song was written for me, Bertha. Just let you know, get your freak on. Just like, hey, my boo, you out there, boo?
She is. Your work boo's out there with Jason and Tracy.
I mean, that's funny.
We got to get the crew in here.
Strawberry Fields. All right.
No, there's better. Oh, there's better songs.
This is that song. This is the song that I never got. Like, and I get it. Maybe I should re-listen to it.
All right. So in the movie Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band, the girl's name was Strawberry Fields. The love interest of Sgt. Pepper.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, the remake with Peter Frampton and the Bee Gees was so much better than the original.
Yeah.
Just because of the different people. See, like Aerosmith was in there, Earth, Wind and Fire, Billy Preston. I mean, it was awesome.
Oh, we're going old school.
What's going on? Yes.
What's going on?
Yes, I've done this.
Baby making music. Bertha's what?
Yeah.
Now you know, Bertha. Now you know, Bertha. Get your feet on.
Loving you.
Sing it, Bob.
Oh, giving yourself to me.
How many babies were made in 1970?
A lot. I'm sorry. So in my 20s,
what's going on?
In me and my buddy Pete Canterbury shared a 3-bedroom house with a pool and a hot tub.
The kids, stop listening. Bob's going to tell.
This was.
Did you have a waterbed, Bob?
I did have a king size waterbed. Go from the hot tub to the waterbed was always good. This was on
that porno music.
Yeah, this was on the getting lucky. So
I got my finger on the beat button.
I'm not going to curse. I'm not going to curse. But no, what's going on was on that long with you had Reasons by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
That's the waterbed at Bob's house.
You had I was thin back then too because I was a driver, man. I was 185 pounds of screaming still and sex appeal. All right, go ahead. What's the next song?
Yeah,
I'm playing the porn music now.
Now, porn music was brown chicken, brown cow now. Brown chicken, brown cow now.
Marvin Gaye.
Yeah, this is a great song, man.
All right, let's see if you can name it.
Let's go. Let's make it.
That's on the playlist.
Ooh,
Nirvana, Smells Like Teen Spirit. I give it that is a classic.
Should have been number 3.
No, okay. For me, the transition for like seeing how music can change a person.
Oh yeah.
This is the album. Yeah. Not me personally, but my little niece, my little cousin.
Yeah.
I went from this good little Catholic schoolgirl. Joanne, you're out there. I know you're going to watch the show. But all of a sudden, I didn't live here. So I come over to see my mom, and I'm driving, and I see this girl in all black and flannel and black lips. I was like, what the fuck? Who is that?
That looked like every person walking into that concert Saturday night.
So I got to give it to Nirvana. I do. I'm with Art. I think this should be even lower because of what 3. Nirvana did for a whole generation of millennials.
Right.
I mean, that Nirvana to me was like seeing the Beatles again.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give them that. Too bad that he just couldn't handle the
Kurt
the
Cobain.
He couldn't handle the fame.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that the next episode. Conspiracy.
This one, Columbia, and people might not remember Columbia.
You want to roll it up so we can see what it is?
Bob,
like a Rolling Stone. I get it.
Was a Rolling
Stone. No, that's different. That's like a Rolling Stone.
Yeah.
That was more like a protest folk thing from Bob.
1965.
Although Papa was Rolling Stone, that was Temptations.
I was still my.
That was a good song.
I was still my dad's ball sack.
Papa was a Rolling Stone.
Art wasn't even he wasn't even a thought yet.
Where? Oh, Mrs. Art.
Mrs. Art, like, what are you doing?
What's going on, babe?
Put her live. Put her live.
Yeah, put her on speaker.
I'm not going to put you live. I'm just going to tell you that we're busy right now.
You're live. She's all, get me off.
I'll call you right back, babe.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
That's CA Victor.
That's an old record right there.
What do we got? I don't know, man.
I never even heard of this.
I can think of better. I can't because
gonna come.
I think this was there's a change gonna. Yeah, I think
a change is gonna come.
Yeah, I think so. No, Sam Cooke was awesome.
Sam Cooke was the original singer of Soul Man with. I don't know that. I've never heard this song. I don't understand. 1963, America's first great soul singer and one of the most successful pop artists in the nation.
Yeah, Sam Cooke was.
Wow, 18 of top 30 hits since 1957.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep going.
I'll give him that. I'll give him that.
Because I got to get out of here.
Ready?
Public Enemy.
Yeah, Public Enemy. I'll give him that.
Number 2.
Fight the Power.
Fight the Power.
There you go.
Number 2.
Yeah, this song,
see,
unfortunately, the problem with this album was it couldn't be played on the radio.
Right.
Yeah.
So for it to be number 2 is impressive.
Right.
Think about that.
Most definitely.
It wasn't. It wasn't
at
one
the
of
time,
those.
89.
It wasn't an album that you were going to hear on Rock 104 or whatever station you were listening to.
Yeah, what's number 1?
The man doesn't want us to.
Anybody want to take a guess before I swing to the number 1?
Hotel California.
I'm gonna go with Wu-Tang.
Wu-Tang. Always Wu-Tang. It's always Wu-Tang.
I am gonna go
for the children.
I gotta go with either Prince or the Beatles.
Prince. Oh yeah, Prince. Go ahead, Prince.
That's a good one.
It's an old Atlantic record.
This is old school.
There you go. Aretha Franklin.
Yes.
Hey, Tracy. Shout out to Tracy. She called that
exactly.
Earlier.
Respect.
There you go. Respect.
But she said respect is part of her 3-song lap dance mix. That's what Tracy did. Yeah,
that's what she.
I don't know.
Respect was like her.
That would be an interesting lap dance,
right?
Yeah,
I'd just be looking at titties
honestly,
going RSPS.
And that's how I learned how to spell respect.
I'm
kidding.
Hey, music, to close it out because Bob has a date. Music, that's what's awesome about music, man. It teaches you stuff. That's why we talk about like political bands or political rappers. That's for me, because I was a kid. I didn't watch the news,
right?
Yeah.
So that's how I got fed information.
Well, it's all right. So music is, you will remember when you heard that song.
Yes, sir.
And it doesn't always have to be like a politic thing, but music.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Music
definitely.
stirs our emotions.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that's why if you don't listen to music, what the fuck are you listening to?
Yeah.
If you don't have music in your life, because there's a song for every personality, every emotion you're going through,
every breakup,
and that's what makes so like. I'll hold on a couple minutes, but anyway, it's like concerts, right? I've seen some amazing people in concert.
Yeah.
AC/DC, the Eagles, Tom Petty. I've been to a shitload of country concerts. George Strait, those guys.
Live music is always
Steve Miller Band. Steve Miller Band was awesome. Bob Seger 3 times. But yeah, it's always. I mean, God.
Yeah. No, you're right. I mean, there's a song for every emotion that you've gone through in your life. And like Art's saying, there are songs that, there are songs back in the 80s and 90s that kind of opened my eyes to politics, you know? And Bruce Springsteen, for instance, I mean, he was basically writing music for the times.
Yeah, Glory Days.
I mean, they had like, what are those, like, when they would, speak of Bruce Springsteen, but they would get like Michael Jackson or all these big celebrities, they would do like a big song, right, of like some kind of
We Are the
social
World.
awareness.
We Are the World. Yeah,
so,
everybody was there too.
Like,
I hated that song, to be honest.
Yeah, me too. But
I don't know if I hated the song or just that it got so played out.
That's what I'm saying. It got played out.
Got so played out.
Yeah. So on Friday afternoons, if I wasn't going to the bar, I was going home after work. My leaving work was Machine Gun.
Ooh.
By the Commodores.
Yeah, by the Commodores.
I was going to say Machine Gun Kelly.
No, Machine Gun.
No,
Machine Gun Kelly.
not Machine Gun Kelly, Bob.
But it's an instrumental. There's no words.
Yeah.
It's just great music, man.
All right, I'm going to hit you with this. This is a question we ask all the time on the BS show.
Let's go.
Art,
yeah,
the song that's playing after you're done.
What do you mean? Like with the show or my life?
Sex. What is the song that's playing after you're done having sex? What is Art's song?
All right, it's gonna be Wu-Tang.
I knew
everything around me.
Wu-Tang. All right,
Bob's Finisher.
No, Jennifer Warren and Bill Medley.
Whoa.
I had the time of my life from Dirty Dancing. Time of my life.
That's a good one. Shout out Dirty Dancing. That's a good one.
Shout out to the
Never.
What about you, John?
It's got to be the Rocky theme song.
Yeah.
I'm getting up. I'm telling off.
No, yeah. But see, if you've got time to do all that and get energized with that song, you've got time for another round, dude.
I gotta get my Gatorade.
Get my Gatorade in.
So that's your like return like song.
Yeah, I need a little. I need it's called intermission for a reason. Intermission. All right, ready? What song starts the love session?
Oh, Reasons by the Reasons by Earth, Wind and Fire.
Don't you fucking go Wu-Tang Gang.
Wu-Tang. Brendan's baby.
You
gotta start something.
Dude, there's so many good love songs.
There's a lot of great love songs.
Like I'm gonna answer I'm gonna answer that with a question like what night is it gonna be? Is this like the kids are gone?
He's going
or is this just like a regular night?
No.
Saturday night.
Kids are gone.
Pre-kids.
Kids are gone. You got that. Yeah, there's no kids. You got that feeling going on, and you look at her, and she goes, "It's go time."
All right, then I'm gonna put on Limp Bizkit. Did it for the Nookie.
I love Limp Bizkit, bro.
Dude,
I can keep up with Limp Bizkit's rhythm.
Dude, wait. What group was Luther Campbell in? He was a rapper in the 90s. They put labels on his music. What group was that? Luther Campbell was the lead singer.
Luther Campbell.
But they had a song called Pop the Coochie.
Luther Campbell.
Yeah. That's Is that a good strip club song?
That would be a good strip club song.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, one of my favorites was
It's Your Birthday. Throw the D. Pop that pussy.
Pop the Coochie.
Yeah,
I don't know if I'm playing that.
Pop the
coochie
coochie. No, like I said, I'm going Reasons, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I'm gonna put on some.
I got
Led
the I got the
Zeppelin.
candles going on.
I'm going with the
Pink
Keith
Floyd.
Sweat song.
Keith Sweat. Okay.
Keith Sweat. Yeah.
I'm going with probably like. I'm going to look here, make sure I get them right. I'll give you all my loving. I'll give you all my loving to
There
you.
you go.
That is the song I made 3 babies with. So Hope,
go.
John Paul, and Frankie. That's the song you were making.
Keith Sweat.
Keith Sweat. Yeah.
All right.
On the Bose stereo system.
There we go.
I'll just.
I gotta go stop by.
All right, everybody, we are out of here.
Wars.
Thank you, Art, for
Yeah,
joining
thanks,
us.
Art.
Yeah,
anytime.
pre Friday Night BS show.
yeah.
Mr. Bob Sharp.
Thank you very much.
The original BSer.
That's
the
right.
original BSer.
The original BS
Yeah.
show.
He is the original BSer.
Let's
Yeah,
go.
it was right after COVID.
Yeah.
I was like, let's do something, man.
Yeah.
There
We
you go.
bullshit at the bar. We can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Let's bullshit live so the rest of the world can see it forever.
Yes. Yeah. We'll
And
do.
now
podcasts.
look at #1 podcast
Yes.
on YouTube.
Yeah, that's right.
So
Shout out to Wu-Tang
Yeah,
Clan.
shout out to Wu-Tang.
Yeah. Wu Tang's for the children.
And thank you to
Konnichiwa.
thank you to
No, dude, if you haven't seen the racial draft, watch the racial draft, because once they get picked up by the Chinese, they go up to the stage and they go Konnichiwa, bitches.
Yeah,
And that's Japanese. That's not Chinese.
Yeah.
that's Japanese.
What's up?
All right, we are out of here. Everybody, look into the. Let me take off the share screen. Everybody, look into the camera and say goodbye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.